Hey, wanna go scare trick-or-treaters? Always the naysayer.
In front of me, I have probably one of the coolest looking toys I think I will ever experience. It is the Mythic Legions Four Horsemen Studios Headless Horseman. So, looking at the box, we have a flaming pumpkin head. We have him mounted on top of his horse, and just this everything about this is just going to be absolutely amazing. So, we're going to waste no time and we're going to rip off that plastic packaging and see what he looks like inside. I've seen some images. This is going to be my first view of him in the toy form. That's not just from the website that I ordered him from. So I got to say, this packaging is massive, probably because they have a to-scale horse to the figure, which I have a few Mythic Legions figures. Here's one of the Minotaur characters. Just love these figures. Just they come with all these great accessories. Here's the Black Knight. They make it into a bunch of my stop motions, so anyone who's familiar with my videos should recognize them. And here is the skeleton who's danced a few times in my videos. He's got those moves. So imagine a horse that these guys sit on top of, and that's going to be what we're about to open, along with the Headless Horseman figure. So let's see. Oh, so it's a magnet. So the front piece just pops right off. Looks like it can make a nice display. And now we have the actual casing, where we have a nice window into, we got two pumpkin heads, looks like regular one and one with flames like we saw on the side of the box. Then we have just, he's really in there nice and secure. We got the horse, and just everything about this is so cool. Yeah, so let's see what we can do with this guy. All right, so we are gonna open this guy up. I think let's find the best spot to do it. Looks like, yeah, there's just some tape on the side. We can quickly slice that off, and then I think we should be able to just usually with the Mythic Legions, they're packed pretty good. It's usually just the plastic packaging. It looked like on the horse there were some ties in there, probably just for security. It's probably a pretty heavy figure just based off of the weight of this box. So he's probably a solid beast. Eats a lot of good grains and gets a lot of workout chasing trick-or-treaters. All right. So yeah, closer look at that flaming pumpkin head. Just so cool. Looks like there's a sword in the back, and looks like there's his neck piece. So since he doesn't have a head, made a pumpkin on it. They have the severed head. He's got some hands, and here we go. The horse looks like there's some ruffled hair, so you got the bed head that he can put on in case he just wakes up in the morning, hasn't had a chance to brush his mane. Just kind of the weekend look for the horse. All right, so let's see what we can do about getting. Oh yeah, they are in there nice and secure. All right, so a bunch of pretty tight ties in there, speeding it up. You don't have to see me fiddling around with these. There's some tape on the back, and it looks like we've got a nice cape for the Headless Horseman to wear. He might not be able to wear it while he's riding, just because with no neck it might fly right off. So we'll just put that down there. I also don't. Oh, there's a nice sword. For some of the softwares, like the capes, I don't typically like to display them out. They do get dusty and they get hard to clean, so unless it's in like a glass case, I tend not to put those out on display. That's just my own personal preference, but it could make it into some of my videos. So here is the Headless Horseman himself. He's got the head attached. He's got that menacing pumpkin face, and his suit is absolutely amazing. Mythic Legions have some really, really good articulation. They all have these holes in the back that you can put accessories on, like they come with wings and armor. So they all have that same, it's all compatible. So if you pick up one, you can put it on another figure. His arm movement, he can do a full spread. He can move around. His legs. This is good because that means he'll have no issue riding the horse. He can spread his legs wide. He's got the ankle articulation. Just yeah, really posable, really just well-made figures. And what is any Headless Horseman if he doesn't have his noble steed? So let's free his horse, speeding up once again. There's a really thick tie. You just saw me use both hands on that. There's a really thick tie around his body to really keep him in. It's not as easy to clip as the other ones, so let me finish up those ones. And all right, and then let's free the beast. And the beast of burden has been freed. He's got some plastic horseshoes. Let's take those off. So this is just a fantastic. This is my very first Mythic Legions horse. They've made a few others before, but this is just such a cool articulated horse. So his head moves around. He's got that neck motion. He's got, he can move his legs. He can do the clip clop. And tail articulation. That is what I was hoping for. I'm very happy to see that he could wag his tail when he's happy. I'm not sure if horses do that, but he will, because he's a one happy horse. All right, and let's put the man himself on the horse. He can hold the reins. Oh man, that is just one fine looking figure. So just the detail on these Mythic Legions figures in general is always just top notch. Everything about this is just the coolest. The horse, the way he rides it, the face, the suit that he's wearing. So let's see what else he came with. So we already took a look at that flaming pumpkin head. He's also got some additional hands in there. So it looks like there's a clip on this guy. Let's free that pumpkin head. They probably use the white tie versus the black tie. It's probably more flame resistant because this is the flaming head. So that I'll have to look that up, but I imagine that was probably the reason for that tie. Or it just has to do with weight. Now we got his neck meat. So where he lost his head, it's probably unsanitary to keep the wound open like that. I imagine he probably should dress it so it doesn't get infected, but who am I to give medical advice to the Headless Horseman? So his head pops right off along with the neck. So that's actually really cool. I did not realize that's how they made this. And then that neck piece just pops right in so that you can see where he's been severed. And then he can no longer have his head on because he is the Headless Horseman. So let's see what we can do with that. And let's look at his hand accessories. Sorry, let me bring those back. So this was one of his hand accessories. So you can see it actually has that neck ball joint, which could then hold his pumpkin head. So that means if we pop off one of his hands and pop on that hand holding the pumpkin head, now since his head is not on his neck, he's now holding his hand. So there we go. And let's put him back on his horse. And nice mount on top. This is probably going to be one of the ways, no cape for now. This is probably going to be how I display him. So he's got his, holding his pumpkin. Oh, he's got to have his sword. That was just flat out silly of me not to give him his sword because his head's flaming. He's heading into battle. He's scaring trick-or-treaters. So one thing to note, with the flame head, it does roll off. It is a little bit heavy for his wrist joint. So I might actually display him without the flame head. I can see that it's a little back heavy, so it does twist around. If he's stationary, that's fine, but my concern is if the wall shakes or something, the head's just going to constantly flip over. So I will play around with that just to make sure. There's probably also a way to tighten the wrist joint a little bit, so I might play around with that too. So looking at the horsehair, I think I like the nice comb look. It looks like he's just, heading out for the evening. He took care of himself. He's well groomed versus, I think I mentioned before, the bedhead variant look. I like the well groomed look. That's just, Call me picky, but I just like a well-groomed horse. All right, and then we have the backdrop, which is really cool. I might display this on the wall behind the figure.
Finally, the end of Spider-Man. How? What?
Seriously, quit taking my stuff?
That's all, folks.